Reno, Nevada, formerly known as the tiniest, what is it? The biggest, smallest city in the world.
Really?
Yeah, there's a whole sign.
Oh.
Yeah, you go to the strip in Reno, Nevada, and there's a sign that says the biggest, smallest city in the world. How would I start? Reno, I participated in the most classic manifestation of debauchery.
What's debauchery again?
Debauchery is
Perversion,
vice, and maldad, basically. I stayed up till 5 a.m. playing on slots with my eyes just pulling on a lever. Money, lever, money, lever. And I learned how to drink Jaeger bombs at 9 a.m. And I brought a stripper home. Not home, I brought a stripper back to the hotel. I was this close to paying for sex.
But you didn't.
I didn't, because it was too expensive. It was the only thing that stopped me. Trivial things, like this mosquito that just got in front of my face. I guess more recently, the things that annoy me the most are when things don't go as planned. Correct? So, for example, if something interrupts or disrupts my routine, then I get annoyed. Potently annoyed. That is where my sense of annoyance comes from now. My everyday life. For example, if I wake up late, that annoys me. Or if, for example, today I overslept on a day that could have been spent on productivity, but I spent it sleeping. And I did not like that. And I guess what would be considered trivial things that could be easily fixed with a certain, implementation of optimism. I sort of just hone it in. I focus on it the most. When things annoy me, I'd rather be gravely inconvenienced than be annoyed. I'd rather have an over-encompassing obstacle intruding on my day than a trivial little fucking pest.
So when something that shouldn't even mess up your day.
Yeah.
So it's so stupid.
Something so insignificant like waking up late. Or something insignificant like you forget something when you leave the door. Or you lose something, or you misplace something, you're looking for it. Those types of inconveniences annoy me the most. Those are the ones that subsist throughout my day. They sort of linger in the back of my head, and I sort of fantasize or imagine my day where those things hadn't have happened the way I imagined them the night before I woke up. Those are the things that annoy me the most. If I were to break an arm that day, if I were to lose a loved one that day, I'd feel like I'd handle it a lot more rationally than I would a paper cut. What inspires me as a writer is the mundane, the trivial nature of humanity, the things that define us unconsciously, the things that we experience every day that indirectly form us. Our routines form us just as our instances of triumph or sadness. Right? The way we repeat ourselves is it's monotonous, but it's nuanced at the same time. It's indicative of something, and that's what I try to explore in my writing. For example, how people sit, how people look, how people groan and moan at 7 a.m. on the train ride to work or school. That's what I like to write about. Or how people handle rejection, or how people handle laughter. Handle it, not the execution of it, or the manifestation of grief or humor. It's how
they cope with it.
How they cope with it. What kind of reconciliation comes from those manifestations of those emotions?